I mean, an awesome start to the season for you, I would say.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. I'm glad I to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Now one thing I noticed, and actually I've heard a few people talk about it, is you've came back in really good shape this year, and a couple of the guys I had talked to had said that you look noticeably bigger and stronger. I mean, is that something you were working on a lot in the off season?
Yeah, yep. It's something that I think I really worked on with my game. I figured, I gotta improve my game somehow. I feel like everybody there's always room for improvement. So that was one thing I focused on this year was to get bigger and stronger. And doing so, then that also improves my game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the proof's kind of in the pudding, and I mean now. So, is this your third or fourth season?
This is my third season.
Third season. So your third season in, and on this team, you're actually kind of one of the offensive veterans now.
Yeah. I'm a little bit more of a veteran. Yeah.
Which I mean is kind of crazy with only 3 seasons under your belt. But what's that like having all these fresh faces come in? And I mean, you at least finished out the year with Albany, but I mean, how was that? You're coming into camp now with your third season as one of the experienced offensive players.
It's good. Me and Ewok, I think we're both at three, so we have just a little bit more experience. We know what to expect, especially when you play different. So we're a little bit, we're able to give the younger guys, well, not the younger guys, I guess, the newer faces, kind of like an insight of how certain defenses are going to be, and what to expect. So just kind of mentoring them. They don't need no help at all, but it's good to have kind of like some input, what to expect on certain teams, and what kind of people to attack at certain times. So I think it's good to have just a little bit of experience on what to expect.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it definitely showed. So you had 4 assists and 1 goal, shooting 25%. I think it was 4 shots you took. So I mean, that was definitely good. Now playing with Travis Longbow, I just noticed when I was clipping through those highlights that you guys played together on that Six Nations down belowers. But where did you play all summer?
I played in Coburg with the Coburg Kodiaks.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so it's senior A. Yeah,
Yeah, so you were up in Coburg. Did he play with you, or was it just at that tournament?
it was just at that tournament in Coburg. I think he was out for an injury still. Kind of taking it easy, like the last part of rehab. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that Nations Cup was pretty cool. I watched the championship today again there. Well, not really watched it. I just clipped through the highlights, but I saw because I knew Longboat sounded familiar too, and I was like, man, I know I filmed him somewhere. And then as soon as I was clipping the games, I heard Stamper say it once. I was like, oh man, so you guys definitely had some chemistry going in. Is that the first time you guys have played together, or did you know him before this?
Yeah, he's my second cousin, so we
Oh,
grew up really close. We grew up in the backyard in the basement ever since we were young, playing together. Same with Justin Martin. He's with the Toronto Rock now. He's another second cousin I have, really closely related. It was always I have a brother that's a couple of years older than me, so he's the same age as Justin and Trav, and then they have two younger brothers that are my age. So there'd be all six of us that would hang out all together, and we'd always be in the backyard playing lacrosse.
oh, absolutely, yeah. So that's awesome too. So now, and the three of you are still in the NLL because he played. Justin played on that Six Nations team too. He had a couple of goals I saw.
Yeah. Justin played with us too. It was a lot of the down below team. Was a lot of my family, so it was
Oh,
pretty much just like a family team, family and friends team. We were all really connected.
that's awesome. And you could tell that you guys were definitely out there having fun watching it. Yeah, it was great to watch you guys play, and now knowing that you're all cousins, that's even cooler that to get to watch it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how far is Albany for you to travel to for like a home game?
It's about like like a 5 to 6 hour drive. So yeah, it's not too far. I guess it's drivable.
Yeah, that does make it a little better, but hopefully, I mean, you've got the defending champs coming in last year. I know you weren't there at the beginning of the year, but Albany actually was able to beat Buffalo early, and I'm kind of wondering if you guys essentially, you know, how to keep the momentum going and hoping not just to have the fluke one game start.
Yeah, we just gotta keep our nose to the grind. We know what to expect. No team, we can't take no team lightly, especially in this league here. And with us getting all these new faces, they help improve our offense, and then even the fresh faces on the defense too. So we're actually we're legit here. I expect us to go really far and to be a contender every night. So I know we're not going to be the favorites on Saturday night, but it's something that we've been looking forward to, and we played them the last game of the season last year. So we got we're kind of got something to prove not only to Buffalo but to the whole NLL.
Yeah, absolutely. I was super excited watching that game to see the way the offense spread out. I mean, you guys didn't have anybody who like ran away with, trying to shoot the ball 1,000 times. I mean, Simmons took the most shots, but like all of your points were really spread out across the offense. I mean, I'm guessing that's an intentional thing that you guys are really focused on, a team offense style.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's the thing about the with this team is we you can't really key off on one guy because especially showing on Friday night, the ball can be scored from anywhere, and especially having a couple transition goals helps us out a lot too. So all around we're a threat. You can't just lock anybody off. You got to play the whole lot.
No, absolutely. And I mean, you kind of being the quarterback, that's one thing I was talking to Steven Stamp earlier, and he commented on, and this is the first thing I noticed when I watched you play. You throw that behind the back so accurately, and there's no tell. It's so hard to guard against. I mean, was that something that some of these guys, like, it took them a little getting used to, or everybody pretty much by the end of training camp was on par with you can throw it from anywhere, just be ready to catch it at any time?
Yeah, yeah. I make sure to tell them to just be ready for anything. Like even if I got to throw with one hand, as long as I see them open, I'll try and get the ball to them as best as I can. And I practice different kinds of passes in the backyard or with my brothers and stuff. So I am pretty much ready for any type of scenario. And if as long as I see their stick open, I'm able to make that pass. So they know that that's the best we can do.
That's awesome. So, what did you, I guess, what would you say was your biggest, like the biggest thing going into that opening game that you felt that you guys proved to yourselves as a team, really?
I think it was a good learning point for the newer players. Come kind of show them that it's a different game from preseason because when you come into preseason, it's a little bit slowed down. There's some guys that you can go against, and it's like they're not at the NLL level yet. So it's kind of different. It's a different game. It's a more faster paced game. But it's good to show that the newer guys that it's a lot more faster and that we got to be a lot more sharp. But we proved ourselves that we can play in this league and that we can win. And that it doesn't take a one man team. We can play as a team and we can still come out on top. So that was a good thing to prove to ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially coming out, really. I mean, I know they didn't count your first goal because of the shot clock. So, but the first shot on Jameson as well as your first shot on the Desert Dogs both went in, and to see Jameson kind of battle back from not the best start, and your team with such a young team, yeah, I was super impressed as a fan watching it. To watch you guys battle back through that, and it wasn't like you just mounted it back in a 1 goal run. You guys just kind of kept chipping away, and then all of a sudden in the second quarter, you finally got your 3 goal run. And Sturos, I mean, what is it like having that guy as a teammate? Because I watched him all summer play with Allegheny, and he can get under people's skin like there's no tomorrow. But he's got to be one of those guys when he's playing against you, he's terrible. When he's on your team, he's like, oh wow, it's so awesome.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. He's a funny guy to be around, funny guy to play with. It's funny because when he plays on the floor, he's a totally different guy off the floor. But yeah, he does his job really well. He's a really good defender, but he also, like you said, gets under people's skin. And that in return, he gives us power plays because they usually take dumb penalties on it. So having that kind of guy really helps us out, gives us an advantage that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's one thing. Like, a lot of guys will look at like you and Walker as not maybe necessarily having the most experience, but you guys are, some of the more experienced offensive players. And, the way the leadership with you guys and Watkinson and the defense stepped up was such a huge part. So, I mean, thanks so much for giving me some time, and hopefully I can catch up with you guys after one of these games.
Yeah, for sure, no problem, anytime.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I love doing it, and we will be there